Charlie felt like Ben was like throwing down like slave owner vibes. Point number 2 I'm going to make here is the stunning hypocrisy again, okay, of him picking the topic of Charlie Kirk to pretend that he's noble, to pretend like he has to say something, even though he's lying, in defense of what's happening to Charlie Kirk's widow, when it is just a fact that Ben Shapiro did a lot of things behind the scenes to stop the rise of Charlie Kirk. It's a fact, okay? Here's another text message. I have literal hundreds of them pertaining to Ben, sending his YAF boys, the YAF boys, the National Review peeps that were coming after us, writing articles, the one that I showed in this little, our thumbnail here. We can show this conversation. It was a headline. Ben Shapiro's YAF launches smear campaign against Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens. Hey, Charlie, wherever you are, it's happening again. It's just a smear campaign. I don't know why, but this is what Ben does. And it is also interesting that when I was telling you that Ben called Charlie and he was lamenting the fact that Charlie and I had this friendship and warning him that he shouldn't have him, Charlie felt like Ben was like throwing down like slave owner vibes. And he was just like, he thinks I like own you or something, but I'm going to show you the text messages because otherwise you'll say it didn't happen. Here we go. This was, again, everything. Ben was going on people's shows and talking down about me and Charlie. And he said, you're bigger than Ben now. And walking into the White House yesterday, I realized that. I said, I know, he hates it. He said, we just have to treat him like noise. He wants you to punch down to him. His respect amongst movement fighters is quite low. I feel like that's relevant right now to what Ben's doing. He wants to egg on this fight because he's lost a certain bit of respect. And then Charlie goes on, you got in his head, which is terrific. The Ben thing involves me more than he wants to admit. And then we went on, and this is the same conversation. He knows that Jon Snow, he's using a Game of Thrones reference, is stronger as the dragons fly higher. And he said it pisses him off, and he is sending his incestuous brother to go try and kill us. It's worse. He views you as my slave, 100%. Control her is what he really was saying to me when he called.
Now, this may come as a surprise to you, but as many as 10,000 Jews served in the Confederate Army, and they served bravely. There was Adolf Proskauer, a recent immigrant from Poland who fought at Seven Pines, Chancellorsville, Gettysburg, and Spotsylvania. Wounded at least 3 times, he just couldn't kill this guy. Then there was Louis Leon, also a recent immigrant, this time from Germany, who was one of the few survivors from his brigade who fought at Gettysburg. Now, he was real hardcore, and 50 years after the battle, he had this to say in his memoirs. I still say our cause was just, nor do I regret one thing that I have done to cripple the North. But there's one Confederate who in some ways topped them all. Judah Benjamin was born in the West Indies, grew up in South Carolina, and made his way to New Orleans, where he also made his fortune as an innovative sugarcane plantation owner with 140 slaves.
Jews also took an active part in the Dutch colonial slave trade. Indeed, by laws of the Recife, Mauritia, congregations included an imposta, in other words, a Jewish tax of 5 soldos for each Negro slave a Brazilian Jew purchased from the West Indies Company. Slave auctions were postponed if they fell on a Jewish holiday. In Caracas in the 17th century, as well as in the British colonies of Barbados and Jamaica in the 18th century, Jewish merchants played a major role in the slave trade. Notice what it says, Jewish merchants played a major role. See, many of them would try to reduce their role. No, they played a major role in this world war on our people. In fact, in all the American colonies, whether French, British, or Dutch, Jewish merchants frequently dominated. This was no less true on the North American mainland, where during the 18th century, Jews participated in the triangular trade that brought slaves from Africa to West Indies and there exchanged them for molasses, which in turn was taken to New England and converted into rum for sale in Africa. Isaac da Costa of Charleston, that's Charleston, South Carolina, in the 1750s. That's the Jewish guy. David Franks of Philadelphia in the 1760s, Jewish guy. Aaron Lopez of Newport News, Virginia, in the late 1760s, Jewish guy. And early 1770s, dominated Jewish slave trading on the American continent. In these European outposts, the Jews, with their years of mercantile experience and network of friends and family providing market reports of great use, played a significant role in the merchant capitalism, commercial revolution, and territorial expansion that developed the New World and established the colonial economies. The Jewish Caribbean nexus provided Jews with the opportunity to claim a disproportionate influence in the 17th, 18th century New World commerce. You guys better stop looking for this New World Order. It's been here. The New World Order has been here, running full steam ahead.
When Jefferson Davis became the Confederacy's president, he made Judah Benjamin his Attorney General in 1861, then Secretary of War in 1862, and finally Secretary of State. Now, along the way, Judah appeared on the Confederacy's $2 bill. As Secretary of State, Judah Benjamin led the effort to tempt Britain and France into recognizing the Confederacy. But when the Union gained the upper hand in the Civil War, Lord Palmerston and Napoleon III chose not to take the bait, in part because neither really could stomach recognizing a slave-holding nation. Knowing this, Judah Benjamin played his last card. The only way the South could survive would be to free at least those slaves who agreed to fight for the Confederacy.
I sense that the pro-Israel lobby is on the brink of collapse. They are desperate for allies, right? And they're so desperate for allies that they're forcing them away. That's what they're doing to Megyn Kelly, right? They're showing the world right now they are willing to lie to get what they want. Ben is lying right now to get what he wants. And for whatever reason, the pro-Israel lobby believes that this repeat failed strategy of lying and threatening people is going to work. Now, you might be asking, well, how is Megyn Kelly being threatened here? This is exactly what Ben just did on stage. That is exactly the moral blackmail that Charlie was speaking about in the last days of his life, okay? Ben is morally blackmailing Megyn, right? He's sitting across from her. The threat is her reputation. He's standing there and he's saying, Candace is attacking a grieving widow and accusing her of murdering Charlie Kirk. Will you disavow this evil on the spot? And he's got these fake people going, woo, yeah. And you can see Megyn's uncomfortable because she's like, well, did she say that? Man, like maybe that is evil. Like does that happen? And he doubles down. He's like, yes. She said, Seth Dillon murdered Charlie Kirk. Will you disavow this evil on the spot?
Again, this is why, I think you and I differ on our angle with regard to, for example, Candace Owens. I think that what Candace Owens is doing right now is evil. It is evil what she is doing right now. Okay, and I say that again.
But what?
Because
like I didn't opine on whether it's evil or not. But my position is it's really none of my business. And
why is it? But I have a question. Why is it none of your business? I mean, you comment on these things for a living.
I'm not mother of the internet.
No, but if this were on the left and somebody were accusing Charlie Kirk of his wife having murdered him, I assume that you would be talking about it.
Is that what Candace is accusing Erica of?
Yes.
Of murdering her own husband?
She's accusing TPUSA insiders and other members of the right wing, including Seth Dillon, of being involved in the murder of Charlie Kirk, yes.
Okay. Like I said, I don't take in that content, which is an honest statement. I don't have time to watch Candace's show.
I believe you. But the point that I'm making is that
what I understand
friendship
Candace
should not, in our business, I think it's important. Listen,
Candace
friendship
and I are
should not
friends.
trump.
We don't even know each other.
I understand, but even with Tucker, friendship should not trump our manifest requirement to speak out when people do and say things that are both detrimental to conservatism and morally wrong.
Okay, so I don't totally disagree, but I think the way of handling that, at least for me, is much different.
That is moral blackmail. Are you a better person than to accept Candace Owens, who has attacked a grieving widow and is saying to that grieving widow that you murdered your own husband? That is moral blackmail. Now, speaking of on the spot, everything that you just saw happen here, and Megyn Kelly, I hope you see this. Truly, you guys, send this clip to her. This is really important. It is pre-planned. It is not organic. The supporters are not organic. The questions are not organic. We can pull back another layer of this onion so you can understand how vicious politics is, because it is vicious. You might remember, maybe you forgot, but I spoke at YWLS in 2024, right after I was fired from the Daily Wire. And a big thing happened, and we should never forget it, okay? While I was heading to speak at this event, we learned, because there was an intern at the Daily Wire who had a conscience, and she felt very uncomfortable with the secret mission that she was put on, we learned that a covert mission was happening where they were sending an intern to ask me a question, okay, to get my answer on the question. And then what was going to happen next is they were going to pass around a clip, but they were going to make it look like she was just a random student. Let me show you a clip, because we found this out. I called it out on stage. Charlie intercepted. We found what her name was, and I called this girl out on stage. Take a listen.
You guys, the last thing that I am going to say, strangely, this is such a crazy story, but as I was headed in here, I got a frantic call from somebody. They did. They called me and they said, Candace, something very weird is happening. The Daily Wire has sent somebody secretly to record you, an intern, a PR intern, to secretly record you, to catch you in a bad moment, in a bad light. And I think that intern's name, no, to be fair, it is never the fault of a person when their employer is sending them to do something that isn't good, but I would really love it if Ariana stood up. Yeah. Okay, maybe that's a little too intimidating for you too, but apparently she got an email at 10 p.m., hopped on a plane, is pretending to be a student. And so I do just want to say to Ben Shapiro, enough. Come out into the light. Really, come on. Let's do this debate. Stop sending interns to do your dirty work. I don't bite. I'm down for the debate. Charlie Kirk says he will fly you out. He will fly you out next week to Detroit, and we can do the debates on his stage. Thank you, Turning Point USA. Let's take some questions.
And so I'm actually genuinely not upset. I don't care. I believe in the free markets. I genuinely will say again, I will always debate Ben Shapiro. If Tucker left you on red and you want to come on this show and you want to debate Israel and you want to discuss Erica Kirk and the things I never said, if you want to discuss your relationship with Charlie Kirk, anything that I have said that you would like to dispute, my platform is your platform. I'd say you should come on my platform because my show's bigger now. But we could also do yours. So hit me up.
We have never had a black female president. I still have to pay taxes.
We've never had a
the
Jewish
whole
president.
concept
Who
is
cares?
no taxation without. We have had a white male president. We've had like 45 of them.
Whether Jews count as white or not has been sort of an object of debate for
do.
quite a while. We do. Okay.
You do.
So, it depends according to whom, and that's a pretty recent development. Okay, so.
Basically everyone. It's a religion.
What's your thoughts? Please be respectful with your comments. Also, please click the like, click the notification bell, and subscribe to this channel.
Listen, Genesis chapter 11 verse 10 explains the genealogy of Shem. Shem was a black man in Africa. If you repeat this back, Genesis 14 verse 13, Abraham steps on the scene. Being a descendant of Shem, which is a fact, means Abraham too was black. Abraham, born in the city of a black man, called Nimrod, grandson of Ham. Ham had 4 sons. One was named Canaan. Here, let me do some explaining. Abraham, Isaac was the... Jacob had 12 sons. For real, and these were the children of Israel, according to Genesis chapter 10. These were the children of Israel, according to Genesis chapter 10. These were the children of Israel, according to Genesis chapter 10.